dark comes crashing through, let the world pass by. When you need a friend to carry you, feels like we could go on for forever. Learn to slam on the brake before I even turn the key, before I make the mistake, before I leave with the worst of me. Give them no reason to stare, no slipping up if you slip away. So I got nothing to share, no, I got nothing to say. Have you ever felt like nobody was there? Have you ever felt forgotten in the middle of nowhere? On the outside, always looking in. Will I ever be more than I've always been? 'Cause I'm tapping on the glass. I'm waving through a window. I try to speak but nobody can hear, so I wait around for an answer to appear while I'm watching people pass. I'm waving through a window. Won't let that lonely feeling wash away. Maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around, you will be found. All we say is love, you will be found. 'Cause the sun burns bright, you will be found. Won't let that lonely feeling wash away. Maybe there's a reason to believe you'll be okay. 'Cause even when the dark comes crashing through, when you need a friend to carry you, when you're broken on the ground, you will be found. So let the sun come streaming in, 'cause you'll reach up and you'll rise again. Lift your head and look around, you will be found. All we say is love, you will be found. 'Cause the sun burns bright, you will be found.
Hello, friends. Cheers to all of you. It's so good to see all of your bright, shiny faces here in the live stream. Thanks, Pam, for setting this up. Looks like we got a couple fans watching on the YouTubes.
Yeah, we do.
That's good. So, how long has it been? 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
2 weeks? 3? I don't know. A time warp. It's a time warp.
It's a time warp. Especially because, as many of you know, which we'll talk about more later, we've dove right into our next project, which is the musical called Amelie, but we'll talk about that later. I have some questions on deck, and I have things that I want to know about, but I first want to just kind of throw it out to all of you. This is a really big question, but I'd like to hear your thoughts from your perspective, both as an actor, but also as a human. And that is, why do you think this story resonates so deeply with people? Ding.
Sorry.
I'm gonna put Lincoln on the spot. Or not. Put Jen on the spot.
Everybody has their mics off. Like,
why does the show resonate with people? That was the question?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think something that we discovered throughout our process is that just everybody really found a piece of this show to connect to. Um, Certain people drew from different parts and different things, and that was kind of the reaction that we got from our patrons as well. And I think we all really connect with it in different ways, but for a very special, specific way.
Okay.
I think
Anybody else have any thoughts to share?
I think Shannon said once at
Oh.
an interview. Hear me?
Hi, Shannon.
I can hear you now.
Okay, there she
Hi,
is.
Shannon. I was just asking everybody why they thought the show resonates so
and
deeply
it's
with
gone.
people. And it's gone. Okay. We are off to a silky smooth start.
Can you hear me, Art?
I
I
can
can
hear. I
hear
can
you.
hear you, Pam. I can't hear RJ.
Oh, weird. Okay. Well, we were just talking about why this show resonates, and I remember Shannon saying at an interview once that there's a something for everyone, and there's an entry point for everyone. And I heard that over and over the course of the 2 weekends. You know, there were moms that were crying because of the moms in the show, and there were students that were crying because of the students in the show. So there was a lot of entry points for people. And I think there's, like Jen said, there's someone to connect with, and, you know, for everybody. So
just to kind of get an idea, if you can hear me, can you just like give me a hand if you can hear me? So for some reason, Shannon and Lincoln cannot hear me. Okay. So if I have a question for them, I'll just toss it to you, Pam. Okay. Alex, I have a question specifically for you. The focus a lot of times, and Pam just kind of did it offhandedly, was talking about tears. Made me cry. Maybe Shannon, I don't know. Anyway, you know, this is such part made me cry. Where's the joy in this show? Where do you feel like the joy is? Alex, we can't hear you. It doesn't say you. Can't hear you. Maybe it's a Bluetooth thing. Like if your sometimes if your AirPods are connected or something.
How about now?
Yes, excellent.
Oh my gosh. Technology is so fun, everyone.
Yeah.
My goodness. Yeah, that's a really great question, RJ. Thank you for asking. World peace. No, sorry, I'm joking. Beauty pageant. Yeah, I think in a show that is as heavy as this one, it is hard to find the joy. And I think a lot of the joy comes in the uncomfortableness that we feel sometimes as human beings. And I think the joy is really brought out in two characters that are pivotal in the show. And they were played by Lincoln and Natalie. Sometimes when you focus on Evan's story, it is very sad. The things that he is going through internally, the choices that he makes. And I think a lot of us find the joy in that lie, but because we giggle and we laugh and we've all been there before. But I think the characters, Jared and Alana, they bring a lot of comedic relief that the show needs. And I know that every time that they were on stage, I was laughing. And I think that they were really the joy within this show. And they kept that humor and light in a story that is pretty dark most of the time.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think I think you're absolutely right. Did any of you, by the way, read the book? No.
Yeah, I read the book, I think in middle school.
Oh.
Yeah.
I was, because I read part of it and I was interested that, well, I'll get to it in a minute, but I was just curious. So Natalie, you might want to jump in a bit if you remember back then.
Sure.
Because Damon, first of all, Damon, you can hear me. Yes, you're shaking your head. Okay. So, Damon, first, what do you see as Connor's role in this story?
Well,
Beyond, he's so central to the story, but yet not in how it plays out. So, how do you feel it was? Did you approach Connor's role in the story?
Well, I approached it very much of not just being somebody that's angry and broken. I tried to approach it as, Connor's somebody that's very human. And so, that was incredibly important just to have that immediate thought, because if you're able to kind of come into the show, I know Connor's kind of very limited with what he's able to do when he's, actually alive, right? But to be able to kind of wear some of that raw emotion and just kind of get people to, it was funny because we had a talk back after one of our shows. Somebody had actually asked me, how did you play such an unlikable person, but have everybody so emotionally invested that when you found out that he took his own life, that they were actually upset about that? And I told him the same thing. I just said, I really just wanted Connor to be human. I didn't just want him to be somebody that'd show up and just bully somebody at school, because, there's just more to that character than somebody that shows up and just gets so violent and so angry so quickly. And that was just kind of my initial approach to the character.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate that perspective. Natalie, do you remember anything when you read it back? I know it was a long time ago, but do you remember? There's a lot more of Connor in the book than in the musical. Do you remember that? And what do you think about that?
I can't say I remember much about specifics of what was in the book, but I have to say the way that the book reads is very similar to the way that Pam had staged it. I mean, in the Broadway script, it's very minimal as to when Connor shows up, and a lot of the staging for that was done by Pam, who had added bits in. And I think it works better if Connor is there sort of ghosting the story more. I think that it plays better. So I was very happy to see that was the way that Pam had decided to stage it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. I love the decisions that Pam brought in terms of fully realizing pieces of it that they chose not to in the Broadway version.
Roman and I had several conversations about Connor and like how to make him likable, even though he's kind of the villain of this story. Unfortunately, at the beginning, particularly. And so it kind of goes along with that theme of you just don't know what people are dealing with. You just, we can't make assumptions about, how people are acting and what they're carrying around that we don't even know. And I think that's true for his character just as much as it is for everybody else in the story. There's lots of loneliness in this story. So I think that's true for Connor too. And I think that Damon did a great job of bringing some humanity to that and really showing that there was more there than just anger. And I applaud him for that. He did a great job.
The thing that I find impressive about the way this is written is that it doesn't, even though you come to understand a little bit, it doesn't excuse the way he treated other people, especially his sister. And so she comes to forgive him, but that's a gift she gives to herself, to let that go. So I think that's really strong and great writing.
Mm-hmm.
My next question is specifically to pull Pat, Jen, and Shannon in here. one of the things I was thinking about as I was preparing was, you all are the real life parents of the group. You actually really have kiddos. And so I got to thinking, like, what did you take away from this experience with that hat on, from that perspective, versus just as an actor playing a parent?
Yeah, so for me, my kids got to see the show, and
hold up signs and hold up
signs and talk in the chat at me right this very minute. So
speaking
there
of,
it is. Yes. So what was interesting to me is seeing how my kids and some people I call bonus kids as well reacted to the characterization of Evan and some of the other younger people, in that they felt it was expressed to me that they felt I've never seen myself portrayed on stage before. And as well as the fact that playing a parent on stage, you sometimes can bring some of yourself into it. And although the character of Larry at times was perhaps slightly unsympathetic, as the play went on, you got to see that he really was trying to be the best parent he could in the only way he knew how. And that's something that I think any parent can relate to.
Yeah, thank you for that.
I can't get Shannon in here. She's in a car or something, so we can't seem to get her in here.
That means it's Jen's turn.
Yeah. So, gosh, I don't know. My head's all over the place. RJ, you were asking about the joy earlier, and this kind of relates also to the question you're asking right now. Every single time we finished the show, I had just had a deep catharsis. And I always walked out of the theater feeling 1,000 pounds lighter than I did when I walked in. And I related so closely to my character, to Heidi. She's real to me. I see her, I talk to her. I know that probably sounds nuts. But just this morning, I had an experience where I felt like I let my son down, and the mom guilt was high.
Mm-hmm.
It was eating away at me. And it was Heidi who helped me past that. So that was my takeaway, I guess.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate your vulnerability in sharing that. I know that there's many times, even though, mine were older when they came to me and almost fully formed. You do have those moments of regret when you're like, why did I just say that? I know better. So thank you for sharing that.
Jen did such a beautiful job with Heidi too. It's such a complicated character, and particularly in the end, because she's just trying so hard. And in the end, when she finally just like relaxes and just shares what she knows and is there for him, it was perfect. It was just beautiful.
Thanks, Pam.
Yes, absolutely. As the kid of a single mom, doing that job is doing both jobs, more than both jobs. But anyway, I just thought it was really you really did a nice job realizing the struggle that was that. And I think Alex did a nice job too, by the way, interacting in a way that was very realistic. So yes, some of that's in the script, but that's just words.
No, Alex is a wonderful scene partner.
RJ, let me run a little video of that.
Sure.
Oh,
You'll see. I promise.
Where is everybody? There we are.
Love, 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 love that.
I know. It's like,
So good. So good. Pre-demands and ablum. I'm not sure what that is. We'll go with it. So, Lincoln, I don't know if you saw, I dropped a question for you in the chat because I wasn't sure if you could hear me, but for everyone's sake, I was saying to Lincoln that they're the closest in real age to the character that they're playing. Now, Natalie is 2, now that I'm thinking about it. So I'll put this to both of you. How do you feel like, so this show talks about social anxiety disorder and depression and those kinds of things that youth are facing, and wondered what you feel as though the role of, or the impact of social media on the anxiety and the pressures that kids are feeling.
Yeah, I'm not terribly invested in social media, but I'm surrounded by loads of peers that are, and something that is affecting all of us is that we spend a lot more time putting effort into our friends that are on our phones as opposed to the people that are around us. Like, one of my professors made a rule about halfway through this semester, and he said that we're not allowed to be on our phones as soon as we enter the classroom, even if class doesn't start for another like 5-7 minutes. No phones, and that has led all of us classmates to talk with each other and just interact with people face to face, and it's so amazing. And just such a simple rule like that, it really changed the dynamic of our classroom and the work that we do together. So I think that social media makes us forget how important those people that are near us actually are.
Yeah, and just to jump off the back half of what Lincoln was saying, I do think it's really important to have that face-to-face connection, and I think that a lot of people around our age do lack that. Just because there's such a big push for everything to be centralized online. I mean, you have all of the people you've ever loved right here in this tiny little like metal box, and you can talk to any of them at any time. But it lacks the connection that we feel when we do stuff face to face. So yeah.
It's interesting because I have a colleague who studies the role of social media and in kids' lives, and she often brings up that it's often vilified, but at the same time, it also provides an opportunity and an access to community. And so, for everyone, why do you think that the Connor, the Connor Project, why? I mean, obviously it resonated with people before it turned ugly, perhaps, but initially it brought all these people together. What about that?
I think that. Oh, sorry. You go ahead.
I was going to say I wasn't throwing it to anybody in particular. I'm just putting it out there.
Okay. I think that with, like everything, you can have something like social media in moderation, and I do think that it does help in certain circumstances to know that there are people everywhere around you that are feeling the way that you are feeling. I think that that's important to know, that the way that you're feeling is normal, that sort of thing, and that you're not alone. I think that was something that the Connor Project sort of represented, was the act of finding community. especially in an online space where it's easier to reach out to people anonymously so that there's no pressure and people that you don't already know.
I think there's such a sense now of people wanting to have a group or have something to stand behind and be with and agree with. And I think people are always searching for that. I think Jared has a line at some point, which was sarcasm, but it's also like kind of true. You know, this will be over in a week and then we'll be on to the next catastrophe. You know, I think people just want to grasp onto something to connect.
Absolutely. I'm going to throw to Alex here. Alex, talk to us a little bit about what you perceive as, I'm going to call it the evolution of the lie. Like, I'd like to hear about how you think about it and how you approached it, sort of at the beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah, I guess the whole story revolves around this lie, and I think when I looked at it, I wanted to look back to when I was 17, and every little thing felt like such a big deal, and I think that's just a perspective of when I was younger. But we were talking about community and finding a sense of belonging, and I think that's where this lie originates from. Evan feels so alone, and he sees a gateway into having a community within the Connors family, and the way that he gets in is by lying. And I think once you start going down a rabbit hole of a lie, it just starts building and building and building. And there's some things that you just like can't take back, and you got to play with it. Especially when there's a goal of feeling like you have that sense of belonging with those people. And then you bring in the aspect of having a relationship, an intimate relationship with a girl that you've loved your whole life, played by the amazing Kaylee. You would do anything to hold on to that feeling that you are valued and that you are enough and that you are worth it. And I just think that's why Evan kept doing it. He was addicted to the feeling of feeling seen, feeling wanted. And, he couldn't stop because they didn't want me to stop, and he didn't want himself to stop, because the moment he tells the truth is the moment that it all goes away. And, eventually, at the end of the show, it comes to light, it comes to fruition, the truth. And I think that's a lesson that we learn in the show, that, honesty is the best policy. Always tell the truth. When I think, Evan, when I think about myself and when I think about my life and where I grew up, sometimes you build those walls, you say things that you don't mean, or that you don't believe, or that aren't true, as a way to protect yourself, whether that's from what you're dealing with inside or from people outside of yourself. And this this show really messed with me in my head, because I started saying things over and over again, like I believed them too. Like I was like, yeah, I was best friends with him. Like what aren't you guys seeing? And I think he convinced himself that it was true. And that's the issue when you live so deeply into dishonesty. Sometimes it just becomes the reality of the situation, which is, I think, what led him to crack.
Here's a little clip of Forever. This is when you really tell that lie. Yeah, for the first time. Just a little.
But you and I, for forever this way, all we see is light, 'cause the sun was bright. Life will be alright for forever this way. Two friends, true friends on our first day. Thank you, Evan. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So amazing.
Alex, can I interrupt? I've never really gotten to see that from the front. I've only seen it from side stage. All the little things, all the little choices that you make. So beautiful, my friend. Oh my goodness.
I'm like so emotional. Thank you, Jen. This show is
Marley's crying again. Jesus.
this show is such a trip, and I know it was called Dear Evan Hansen, but I honestly like choices that I made as an actor. I couldn't have done without any of you, and being scene partners with you, even if it was for 5 seconds or full minutes on the couch and just bawling in your arms. This show is so special to me, and I couldn't have done anything without any of you on and off this call right now. I'm muting myself.
Everybody say hello to Shannon. She's on the chat because she cannot get online. It's so sad, she said. Shannon, we miss you, and we miss Kaylee, who is at Eastman at a rehearsal, so she couldn't make it online either. But Alex, how did you manage your emotions? Because I know, especially towards the end of the show, you got real emotional. It's hard to sing when you're crying. It's real hard.
Really? I didn't know that. No, I had to almost like disassociate fully. Like even in the moments when I'm off stage for what felt like 2 seconds, because I had to like completely disconnect from what Evan was feeling, because otherwise I could have cried literally being pushed by Damon. Like when Damon pushes me in the beginning, the closing night, I almost started crying, and I was like, oh my God, like I can't do this right now. I had to like completely like flip it into fear. And when I left the theater, just like Jen said, like I felt like I was carrying 20,000 bags of flour. And when I left, it felt like I just left it all there, and I could breathe again. I just had to disassociate, and I think that is probably the best thing that saved my mind during this whole show.
I got a big question for Pam, but I'm going to save it for just a second, because first I want all of you to share just a little bit about. Well, let me go back. As an audience member, not both the first time I saw this, but more so with your production, I found myself thinking more. Maybe it's because I knew the story, but I was thinking more about forgiveness and the role that forgiveness plays in this show. So I'd like all of you, like from your character's perspective, like what was the role of forgiveness in your story arc? And I'm going to make, I need to send this to Lincoln so he knows what the heck I'm talking about. But Damon, would you mind starting?
mean, I wouldn't mind starting, but I don't know if I could give you an exact moment of forgiveness, because Connor doesn't really ever forgive himself for the choice that he made, but he does kind of, I mean, I would say that he kind of forgave his family. And I think just kind of watching the entire story, and that's why I was also happy that Pam was able to kind of extend Connor's character to be able to kind of live through some of those moments and see some of the things happening, because for him to kind of be able to see his family kind of experience this too, and maybe try to know their son better than they thought they knew him before, and kind of, you know, I just think the show in general and just living through those moments were kind of the moments of forgiveness for Connor, for me, I think.
Yeah, for me, it was sort of like a next to normal esque quality. If you didn't see that, ask Pam. She might have a bootleg copy of our production of Next to Normal. But this idea of the person getting to see the pain from outside, yeah, I can totally see that.
And honestly, look, I'm looking for a photo because I want y'all to see this picture, but that's Damon. Like, Damon, you brought that to the table. Like, I don't think I've seen the show multiple times. I've never seen that part of it. I've never been able to say, oh, he forgave his family. Like, that never showed up before. At least for me, it didn't. But I love this photo because you can see him smiling there, watching this reconciliation. And I just think it's a beautiful picture. But that's what Damon brought.
So I just asked Lincoln to jump in next.
So I can't really speak on the end of Jared because I feel like it ends on a pretty sour note in Good for You. But before that scene, Jared and Evan are, I consider them friends. Jared considers them family friends, but I think he's just uncomfortable with admitting how close he is to Evan. And perhaps maybe he doesn't want to be associated with Evan as much as he really is. But besides all of that, he's always at Evan's side. Evan makes some bad decisions, and Jared will throw a couple of quips at him about it. But, he's there to help him dig it out. Like, he's like, you went over to the Murphys and you lied about all this stuff, but I'll help you write the emails. I'll help you start this Kickstarter. I'll help you do this. I'll help you do that. And he's always there for Evan, and he lives with the fact that people make mistakes, and he tries his best to help his friend out.
Yeah. Pat, first of all, I hope you're having multiple proud dad moments, because like Preet's comments are making me like. Anyway, I know this. I love you as a person, so this is
getting all of them out here.
I just but in the terms of in the sense of the show,
this is for Preet.
Yeah,
Thanks, kid.
in sense of from the lens of the show.
Yeah, so I think for Larry, there's a few different levels of forgiveness, most strongly with himself, because I think we get the idea that he was hard on Connor, but that he did so because he wasn't sure how else to help him. But there was also that sense that he doubted that at some points. And I think so for him, it was about forgiving himself. And that is really what the lie was able to help him do. But alongside that, I think that his relationship with Cynthia involved some mutual forgiveness there as well, in terms of how they went about things and kind of how they lost their own connection or weakened their own connection in the process, and how they had to forgive each other as well.
Jen, you want to jump in next?
Sure. Forgiveness. It's so many different ways this comes into play in this musical. For Heidi, for my character specifically, I want to go back, I guess, to So Big, So Small, because I always viewed that song as, showing Evan that, this thing that seems so big right now, someday it's not going to be such a big deal and you're going to get past it and everything's going to be okay. But there's also like this other component to it of Heidi shares this story where she knows that she was going to come up short and she had to forgive herself for that, and showing Evan that eventually when you get there, it is okay to forgive yourself for this big, huge thing that you've done is going to be the only way that it becomes a small deal later down the road. So, and that was actually what helped me this morning, if I'm being honest, was reminding myself that it's okay to forgive myself.
There you go. Pam, I'm glad you put that up. I was just going to read it, but you've put it up there. So Shannon's thinking about Cynthia, and yeah, there it is.
And her relationship, and she and Kaylee both, we missed them tonight, brought so much to this story too. Yeah.
So now I'm going to go to Natalie and then end this with Alex.
I think that the same situation is true for Alana as it is for Jared. There is that sort of super sour note with good for you, like Lincoln had said. Alana spends a lot of this show doing not only what she thinks is morally correct, but also what she thinks will get her attention at the same time. Double-edged sword. And I think that she recognizes in Evan that they're sort of the same in that way, that they both are looking for that connection. And I think that part of the forgiveness of Alana is recognizing that Evan feels bad about going about doing that the way that he did, sort of the attempting to help people but lying. And I think that in the end, there's a sense of forgiveness because
Thank you.
point blank, Evan did help people. he did a lot of good and he did a lot of harm, but looking at it objectively, I think that there's a greater ratio of the good than that of the harm. And I think that sort of being able to take a step back and let go of what you're feeling guilty of, whether that's through somebody else telling you that it's okay to let that go, or whether that's you telling yourself it's okay to let that go. I think that's what she brings.
Since Good For You came up a couple times, here's a clip of Good For You.
At least you should remember who your friends are. I thought you only talked to me because of your car insurance. So? So maybe the reason you actually talked to me, Jared, is because you don't have any other friends. I could tell everyone everything. Do it. Tell everyone that you helped me write emails pretending to be a kid who killed himself. Fuck you, Evan. Actually, cross your mind to be slightly sorry. Do you even care that you might be wrong? Was it fun? Well, I hope you had a blast while you dragged me along. And you say what you need to say, and you play who you need to play. And if somebody's in your way, cross them and leave them behind. Well, I guess if I'm not of use, go ahead, you can cut me loose. Go ahead now, I won't lie. I'll shut my I'll show you my time and how red the Pope is about to sing. Can't rest my road without you. Tell me how you keep the story. All the seconds are here on the crossroad track. Stop it, just let me out. So you got what you always wanted. So you got your dream come true. Good for you. Good for you. Gotta taste of life so perfect. So you take it to someone new. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. So you got what you always wanted.
Natalie, your face is killing me right now.
I was
I
holding my
have
breath.
never seen that from the audience. I didn't know it was like that.
Yeah. Oh, look at your face. You're so emotional.
Sorry, I lost you there for a minute. My internet decided to die. Pam, I have kind of a big question for you.
Yeah.
One of the criticisms of this show
Mm-hmm.
is about the end. And whether just about the end, is it a little too rosy? Is it a little too, everything works out in the end? You know what I mean? Like, what do you think about that? And how did you approach that?
I mean, does it work out in the end? I don't think it does. I think the biggest thing that I hear about this show is that some people do not like it, do not like the show because they don't like Evan and they don't like that they feel like he got away with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so Alex and I talked about, we have to be able to forgive him or else you don't like the show, and I had some friends here from Texas that came to dress rehearsal and they pulled me out at intermission and said, I've seen this touring company multiple times and I always hate this guy. And I love your Evan. He's really getting me. He's got me. And I'm okay with him. And I think I heard that multiple times over the weekends, that it was just Alex doing his thing that he does, where you just fall in love with him on stage. And he really gave Evan a sense of humanity. And like Natalie said, like he did a lot of good. He didn't do that entirely in a selfish way. In fact, the first time he lies, I think he's just doing it because he feels like he doesn't want her to cry anymore, and so I mean we have to be able to forgive him, and that's such a critical thing. And then Alex and I talked about that last monologue briefly. Maybe he can talk a little bit about it. We kind of both hated it because it was like, and now we're going to wrap up the story in a little bow.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say it ended up being one of my favorite moments, Alex, because it really got us. It was just your delivery that was so good. But I don't know if you want to talk about that last monologue.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think when going back to that question about forgiveness, we do need that moment to maybe not like forgive Evan, but the humanity of like human compassion for another and living with the consequences of his actions. And yeah, people don't like the ending. And to be honest, I was one of them until I had to do it. And it all makes sense because that's the moment that Evan forgives himself. He's like, I'm trying to think about the lines without bawling my eyes out, but he says to Yeah, exactly. That's what he said, and it was just so emotional. He says, wow, I can't even remember her name. Kaylee. I'm talking to Kaylee. Zoe Murphy. Like, your parents didn't have to do that. They could have told everyone what I did. And she says, like, everybody needed it, and it saved my parents. And I think that's when he realizes, like, I didn't do this out of malice. I didn't do this with any ill intent, but to feel that human connection. And just like you said, Pam, like, that first time he's lying, like, I've never seen anyone cry before.
Right. They were so sad. They
So
looked
sad, and he wanted to have that compassion, and that turned into that lie. And we have to be able to forgive Evan, and I think that's why the ending exists the way that it does, because he does, like Natalie said, he does some pretty manipulative and despicable things, but you kind of end up rooting for him. And every time he adds to that lie, like, there was nights that I would add another lie, and I would hear someone go, "Oh no," like,
oh,
and it's just like, you want him to find a way out, but as a human, you see someone that's living with this social anxiety and such loneliness, and you understand why he's doing it, and the empathy of it all, and the compassion, again, is, I think, the reason that we're able to not necessarily forgive him, but, understand and acknowledge that he knows that he was wrong too, and there was a why behind everything that he said.
yeah. I really want to show this last clip of words. Can I show it, Alex?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go over here.
This was just a sad invention. It wasn't real. But we were happy. And I guess I couldn't let that go. I guess I couldn't give that. I guess I wanted to believe. 'Cause if I just believe, then I don't have to see what's really there. No, I'd rather pretend I'm something better than these broken parts. Pretend I'm something other than this mess that I am, so that I don't have to look at it and know. Look at it, no one can really see. I learned to swim on the rink before I even turn the key, before I make a mistake, before I lead with the worst of me. I never let that see the way.
Natalie again with the.
I hadn't seen that.
So good, Alex. Just beautiful.
That song is so hard to sing. And there was like moments in it where I would like hit myself because I felt so gutted and I felt so connected and I felt everything that he was feeling that it hurt me. It physically hurt me to sing that song. And which is what made the next song all the more better. Because I could just collapse in Jen's arms and she would wipe my snot away. But the tears were very real because if I looked outside, looking in, looking at Evan, like my heart breaks for him too. I'm just the person that is telling his story, and that song is so insane and heartbreaking.
Well done, my friend. Beautiful. Oh, goodness. RJ, we can't hear you.
Yeah, I was reading some stuff that Ben Platt said about the production, and he said that he actually has enjoyed other Evans performances more than his own because he didn't have the same struggle. He went to a very progressive high school. He was never ostracized for being anything, artsy, gay, anything. And he felt that, other people that have been able to bring that layer to the story, there's something about it. There's something they bring. And I think it is the end that it can be powerfully sung, but it's not always powerfully felt. So I want to thank all of you for what you did. And before you go, I'm not going to read it online here, but if you read the comments, this really hit with some people who have really been there and really feel like they saw themselves in Evan and have themselves come out the other side, forgiving themselves and forgiving their experience and getting found. And I think that's a true gift that you gave to hundreds and hundreds of people that got to see you pour your guts out on stage. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And I'd just love to thank Haley and Shannon who aren't here.
Yep.
And then also just like Meredith, who was our music director, and our amazing band that we had that was just killing it. And our amazing crew that we had working. That was a tough show to run. That was not an easy one. Our crew was working hard. So I'm so proud of this piece of theater, and I'm so proud of this group of people, and love y'all so much. It was just perfection.
Pam, not to break up the Dear Evan Hansen love, but do you want to give a little bit of a commercial about our newest project?
Yes, Amelie has started, and Meredith's actually at rehearsal right now. It's going to be June 5th through 13th. And it's funny because Amelie is in a lot of ways very similar to Evan. She's a loner, and she's extraordinary, and she doesn't know it. The music's really lovely. It's really interesting and hard. Damon is in the show, and he's learning how to play the accordion. Natalie is in the show. Pat is in the show. Shannon is in the show. So we have some Dear Evan Hansen folks in the show. But Marley Bly is playing Amelie. And I got to just show you one quick clip of a rehearsal of them singing. It's just great. This is from Amelie.
Lazy times are hard for dreamers, and who knows, maybe they are. The people seem stuck or lost at sea. And I might be a dreamer, but it's gotten me this far, and that is far enough for me. Look out my window, there's a view of other windows. My own museum full of paintings I look through, where everything is clear. It isn't where I am, it's only where I go from here. What matters now is I am not afraid, as everything I ever need appears. This is how my world gets.
Marley is so good. It's like gross.
That was so happy.
Phenomenal.
I love the lyrics of that song. It's it's a lovely song. And Marley is already sounds amazing. Already got her French accent going, and all of them do. We're doing it. We're doing it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's much sillier than Dear Evan Hansen. I promise you all. You might cry a little bit, but it is out of joy. There is a lot of silliness in this show. You have singing gnomes and Elton John. I mean,
Elton John, yeah.
you can't go wrong with Elton John. So
Thank you all, and to our audience that's listening. I know we've got a bunch of fellow theater practitioners that are in the thread, but if anyone's finding this by chance or that have just come and sat in the audience, consider jumping in and being part of this amazing magic that we all love to produce. And whether it's just slinging a paintbrush for an afternoon, or sitting and pushing the button on some light cues, or whatever that case may be, there is a place for you in this quirky family of ours. And we'd love to see you to join in and help us to participate in some way, as well as to come sit and watch what we do, because that's why we do it, y'all. That is
our on sale at www.theater444.com. Theater with an R-E.
If you can't make the show, we gleefully accept patrons. Pam, if you have something to pull up about patrons, but because I got to tell you, this magic is magic, but it's expensive magic, and people are surprised to know that just to do a show, you have to pay the owners of that show thousands and thousands of dollars just before you put up a set or pay an orchestra member or any of those things. So please, if you can, if it's within your means, support what we do, support the work that all of us have done and will continue to do for you, and for all of you beautiful individuals, as well as Shannon, who's listening from, I think, her parents' driveway is what she said, whatever. And Kylie, Kaylee, that had rehearsal, another rehearsal. That's what we do, man.
We're always at rehearsal.
We're always at rehearsal. This my college theater T-shirt the slogan was, "I can't, I have a rehearsal."
Right. It's true. It's true. I had to change rehearsal tonight so Natalie and Shannon could be here. After Amelie in the beginning of June, we're going to have auditions for Dogfight, which is also another sleeper story that if you don't know it, you should look it up. It's just so good. And the music's just dynamite. And Pasek and Paul, who wrote Dear Evan Hansen, wrote the music for Dogfight, and it's just dynamite stuff. So auditions for Dogfight are coming up at the end of June, okay? So we hope that you'll join us either in the audience or on the stage or behind the stage or whatever. Come and have some fun with us. This making art is pretty awesome, especially with these crazy people. I love them. So,
Thanks all of you. It was a pleasure to spend an hour with you, or hour and change. And I look forward to seeing all of your faces again soon, in person and online. Thank you, Pam, for all that you do to be the sort of lifeblood and the heartbeat, truly, of Theater 444. You know, it's if you don't know, we can tell you. You know, she's making the programs, she's designing the posters, she's designing now video.
All right.
She's hanging the posters.
All right.
So, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
That's all that I've wanted for longer than you could possibly know. So it can be us, it can be us, and only us. And what came before won't count anymore or matter. We can try that, it's not so impossible. Nobody else but the two of us here, 'cause you're saying it's possible.
We can just watch the whole world disappear
Till you're the only one I still know how to see. It's just you and me.
It'll be us, it'll be us.